guys, it's Gretchen and welcome back to my channel. So the other day I was thinking about all the tattoos I have and how I'm adding on a few more this month, but it got me thinking about how long I've been interested in tattoos. I have thought about the idea of getting tattoos since I was roughly 15 years old, but it wasn't until I was like 24 before I got my first one. Really, before then it was just tattoos that, you know, I liked the design and I was like, oh yeah, that could be small enough, I could hide it, yada yada yada. I wasn't full blown into it, I just liked how they looked. So with that, I started thinking about all the tattoos that I used to want but never got. So for today's video, I thought I would go through the list of tattoos that I used to want and now some of them I don't want. Some of them I would still consider getting, but kind of change them up a little bit. It's interesting to see how my taste has changed over time. Obviously, I'm not just into the small, discreet ones anymore. So the first one is a kind of obvious one. If you've watched the video talking about tattoo regret, I discussed how I had an appointment set back in December 2018 for a tattoo on my left thigh. I did end up canceling that appointment because after thinking about it and considering it a little bit more, I decided that it did not fit with the flow and the concept of the tattoos that I'd like to get now. So the first one is my Chrono Crusade one. Again, it was an anime style tattoo. Well, it was based on an anime show, so of course it was anime style. But it just didn't mesh with like the rest of my tattoos, which are very more animals, nature, that kind of theme. So that's a tattoo I wanted but never got. And I wouldn't get it at this point just because I've thought more about it and it's just not something that interests me. So the first tattoo that I ever wanted, but probably wouldn't get at this point, I was 15 years old, I wanted a 4-leaf clover because it symbolizes luck. I mean, not much else to say about that. I always wanted my first tattoo to be on my wrist, which ended up happening. My book was my first tattoo and that was on my wrist. I had thought that if I got a 4-leaf clover that's where it would go. I also used to want a horseshoe on my foot. In my Q&A, I mentioned how I used to ride horses. I was very much into the horse scene. Used to do horse shows, used to compete a lot. And I thought that a pretty good tribute to my equestrian days would be a horseshoe on my foot. Probably wouldn't get that now, and if I did, it would be a whole big ordeal, like, you know, a really detailed tattoo, not just a horseshoe. A Celtic knot. Now, I have a Celtic knot, or a Celtic symbol, right here on my wrist. But this one was more of the, like, standard, stereotypical Celtic knot that, like, when you type in Celtic knot, it's like, within the first few image searches. I can't even remember at this point why I wanted that, but I think I just liked the design when I was younger. This was like when I was 16, 17. I think I just liked the design and that's why I wanted it. A William Shakespeare quote. Now, I would still get this, but I feel like I would need to add a whole lot more to it than just words. And in particular, the quote that I would have gotten would be, "Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice." Again, I would still get that because I am a huge William Shakespeare buff. I love his works. I've studied them pretty in depth, some plays more than others. I would still get that quote, but it would be more than just the quote. It would have to have a whole lot more going on. Another tattoo that I used to want, and I would still consider getting, are birds on a branch. You know, just like a little branch and then just having like 2 little birds. At first, I only wanted it to be like just a solid black tattoo. So it was just a branch with like 2 silhouettes of birds. Now, if I got it, it would have to be way more detailed for me. And I used to want it like right here, but again, it would if it went there, it'd have to be way more detailed. But I don't even think I would get it there at this point. A sugar skull. Just a plain Jane sugar skull. Again, this is one that I would still get, but I've kind of gotten a little bit more detailed with it, and I'd like to do a female, like a female figure with the Day of the Dead makeup on. So not necessarily a sugar skull, but it kind of evolved into more of a Day of the Dead look. Just a standard Halloween pumpkin. I don't know if I'd get that. I mean, I love pumpkins, but do I want to stare at it year round? It's just a pumpkin. I may add it somewhere, I don't know where, but My next one is Zero from The Nightmare Before Christmas. I would still consider getting a Zero tattoo, like maybe on the inside of my heel. I think he's the best character from Nightmare Before Christmas. He's just the best. So I would still consider getting him, but I've been thinking about that one for like years and it just never happened. The Mockingjay symbol from the Hunger Games series. Now, if you know me, I am quite obsessed with the Hunger Games trilogy. It was like the young adult series that got me really interested in the young adult genre. I still love the books. The movies were great, except for the first one really should be redone because that director sucked. But I used to want to get the Mockingjay symbol, again, like somewhere here, like the pin, but yeah, I wouldn't do that now. A glyph symbol. So if you don't know what those are, they're kind of like little hieroglyphic symbols. Glyph, hieroglyphic, blah, blah, blah. And I would have gotten them like on my fingers. That's not to say that I still wouldn't get it. There are really cute ones. Like if you go on Pinterest, you can see different ones and like their meanings. I still would get it. I just don't know which finger or which symbol. But again, that's one that I've been thinking about for a while and just haven't done. A mandala. I love mandalas. I love how detailed they can be or how simple they can be. And I used to want one like right on the shoulder, like on the shoulder cap right here. Wouldn't be able to do it here because I've got my crow and my skull and my amaryllis one. Probably couldn't even do it here because of the hydrangeas being so close. And then I do want something else here, so it wouldn't work out. But that's not to say that I couldn't eventually do one. I could do one on my kneecap. Ooh. I can't even imagine the pain for that. And the final one is the unalam. I've never even known how to pronounce them correctly. Someone will tell me, I can get it right for about 5 minutes and then I forget it. But I'll put the word here so you know what I'm talking about. That was actually my mom's first tattoo. She has one right here. Again, I would still consider getting one. I always thought it would be cool to get one like on the inside of my finger, but that's such a small space that I'm not sure how that would work. I would still consider getting one, but at the same time, maybe not. It's one that I've thought about before, but it's just like, I have bigger projects in mind. I don't need these teeny tiny little ones to mix in. Does that make sense? So those are just a few tattoos that I either used to want and don't want anymore, or have wanted for a while and would still consider getting them, but they would need to be tweaked a little bit more. I'm not into the whole simple design anymore. I want nice, big, elaborate projects when it comes to tattoos, so none would be as is if I got these. They would definitely need something a little bit more to them. Let me know in the comments below if there are any tattoos that you used to want and wouldn't get now, or just haven't gotten yet, or if you're like me, you would get some, but they would need to be tweaked a little bit. Let me know below because I'm always interested to hear what other people would want or are interested in, or what kind of theme you may have going on. It's pretty cool to see everyone's personality and personal taste come out with tattoos. But that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big ol' thumbs up. Go on down there and hit that subscribe button wherever it may be, because I don't know. Even though I do, this is just my shtick now. Also hit that notification bell in case you want to know when I upload, in case YouTube wants to let you know when I upload, because I would really, really appreciate it. And until next time, bye guys.